Your call will be recorded and possibly monitored for quality assurance.
This call will be recorded.
Please stay on the line while your call is directed to an available responder. Thank you for calling the Veteran and Military Crisis Line. This is Lee. How can I help you?
Oh, hold on. One second, please, ma'am. Technical difficulties. Ma'am, I apologize. I missed your name. I'm either Mark or AJ, whichever you prefer.
Okay, Mark. I am Lee. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, Lee. I have to assume, well, A, I'm going to offend you probably throughout the call, and that's not necessarily my intent. I'm just very direct. I've had a very, very rough day. I wound up getting evicted in a court of law today, and I don't know how I'm going to deal with my homelessness just yet.
I'm so sorry to hear that, Mark.
Well, you know, ma'am, it's interesting. It is what it is. This is nothing that I haven't faced before, meaning homelessness. So it's not a huge ordeal. It's just it's bothersome that the corruption that put me in this situation and why I intend on dealing with it. That's an overwhelming and daunting task.
Mark, are you still there?
Yes, ma'am.
And you're absolutely right. That is a lot to deal with, in trying to figure things out.
Well, I'm just going to put in an appeal, and I believe that's going to stay the eviction as it goes through the appellate court. I was going to pay my rent today, but I have to use, the money to pay the court fees to get the appeal to go through. And they don't have a case to begin with, and it's utter corruption with the judge aligning with corporate interests. And hopefully the appellate court has more integrity than the local municipal courts. Or civil courts, I guess.
Yeah, hopefully things work out for you with the appeal. But I know it is still a lot to process with being evicted.
Well, that's just, a portion of my problems. I'm in court again on the 8th, which I guess is tomorrow, for an alleged trespass that I didn't commit. And then I'm in federal court May 15th for disorderly conduct, which never happened. It's been interesting. I'm in 5 different courts and I haven't done anything. And the corruption is overwhelming. And the problem is I just don't fucking back down, right? I will always continue the fight. And this has been 10 years. And now they have me in 5 different courts where they're just going to have their fucking asses handed to them. Fuck these people. I am so anti-establishment that I can't even begin to express it enough.
That is a lot to deal with,
Yeah.
dealing with.
You know what? Sometimes you just got to take the fucking arrest,
What do you mean by that?
Well, you're not going to be able to push civil rights forward unless you get this brought into a public forum, and there's nothing more public than the recorded open record of court proceedings. And you're never going to get legal precedent set unless you go through an appellate court.
I understand that.
Yeah, this apartment complex.
Pretty calm with everything.
I'm over being angry with this. I'm just sort of sad because I'm not doing this for me. I'm doing this for fucking everybody else, right? they don't just do this to me. It's just I've documented all of this, so I plan on, catching them in their own fucking game. But I'm doing this because they fuck everybody.
I feel like it's not towards you per se.
No. I don't think it's personal. I don't think that the two ladies that testified against me, because all they had was surveillance footage and they perjured themselves. But, what do you expect? And the judge just aligned with corporate interests. There was no evidence to back up their allegations, which were all bullshit to begin with. And I told the judge, I said, I object just to, these proceedings because a summary eviction is not the proper vehicle to bring this forth. And the judge just continued on anyway. And I kept on telling him, hey, you're making mistake after mistake after mistake. And then he said, I'm getting ready to make my decision. And whoop-de-fucking-do, sir. Like I could give a shit. I already know what your fucking decision's going to be. So then he elected to evict me. And I told him that I intended to appeal it. And would that stay the eviction during the appeal process? And this, judge told me that he could not let me know what the law states. I have no idea why a judge cannot inform somebody of the fucking law. I'm not asking for legal advice. What's the law that you use to base your opinion off of, judge? And he is like, I don't fucking know, so I can't say. He's an absolute fucking moron and a piece of shit.
Mark.
Yeah.
Sounds like this is something that's really triggering for you. What's the way that you feel like you can try to cope with everything?
Well, I'm doing my best. Why do you think I'm calling you?
And I appreciate you calling in. Do you feel like you're having any suicidal thoughts?
Homicidal, not suicidal.
And who are your homicidal thoughts towards?
Police officers.
Is it police officers in general, or?
Yeah, no, in general, not within the city of Sparks and where I live, but in general, yeah. Like if I was going to go out hunting cops, I would leave my community.
Okay, do you feel like you have a plan or any intentions?
No intention.
What are your plans?
Those don't need to be discussed. Then I'm just going to fucking ruminate on that all night and like tune that in. I don't need to deal with that.
I understand that, but I want to make sure that you're able to keep everyone.
Oh, I'm capable. I'm capable.
You're pretty heated right now.
Oh, yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. What are some ways you think you can keep everyone safe?
I'm probably gonna take a bath. I got a caregiver here. He's just in his room. He's doing his thing. I picked up some fucking homeless dude so I can interview him, and he had a dog, so his dog was interacting with my dog, but his vice is alcohol, so he drank himself into a slumber.
Is there any other way you think you can stay safe?
Yeah, I take baths and burn incense, listen to music, that type of shit.
Okay, that's your plans for tonight?
Unfortunately, yeah.
Yeah, it sounds like you're going to provide yourself with some self-care. Do you have any access to any means that you consider using to harm someone else?
If I choose, but I don't choose to.
Okay, what access do you have? What means do you have access?
Honestly, ma'am, let's treat each other with respect and just drop that. I'm not going to share that information with you.
I understand, Mark. I just want to make sure that you are.
As I said, I'm safe, but you keep on pimping me for more information as to how I can harm myself and others, and I don't really want to put much contemplation into that, ma'am.
What's something else that you can kind of think of?
I believe what I've stated already is sufficient.
Okay, so you have plans for the upcoming week?
Yeah, I'm in court. I'm trying to file an appeal for an eviction, and otherwise, I gotta move all my shit somewhere, and I have no fucking money, and I don't know where I'm gonna move it.
That's understandable. Sounds like that's something that's going to occupy your time this week.
Well, it's something that I'm gonna have to contemplate. I just haven't, committed myself to contemplating it tonight. I'm just dealing with the bullshit that is immediately frustrating me before I have to solve the problems that, this has caused.
I hear that. That is a lot to process, a lot to think about.
Oh, yeah. I don't have a tremendous support structure, and the support structure that I have is very, recent and new. But it seems solid enough right now. It's just I keep hours that others don't, and I called you because I had to off gas. I had to vent. I had to let some of this out.
How are you feeling right now?
No, I'm good. As I said, it's difficult to talk to crackheads and drunks because they don't retain anything. And it's rather frustrating because the next day it's like you've accomplished absolutely nothing, even though you invested hours in, conversing with these people.
I get that. You feel like your concerns are being dismissed?
Well, in general, yeah. That's by, the establishment, if you will. And then furthermore, just the lack of a support system is difficult, right? And you're not going to find anybody in a homeless situation that has any support system. Otherwise, they wouldn't be in that situation.
And I understand.
Cool. Hey, I appreciate you letting me vent, and I'm prepared to get off the phone. I believe I've answered your safety questions adequately, and I appreciate what you do and the time that you dedicate to it.
Yeah, absolutely. Sounds like you are going to stay safe with your access to me. Going to try to take a bath and prepare for court this week. No access to any of the targets and no specific targets other than the police officers. And listen to your music and burn your incense. So
Yeah, we're solid.
Able to provide yourself.
I just needed a few minutes to let this out, and you provided that to me, and I appreciate it. So, tomorrow's another day, right?
Absolutely. Tomorrow is another day.
Yes, ma'am. You have a wonderful night.
You as well, Mark.
All right, bye now.
Take care.